What was once unprecedented has now become routine. A Georgia grand jury indicting former President Donald Trump and 18 others over alleged efforts to overturn the 2020 election, making this Trump's fourth indictment in 5 months.
President Trump calling this a, quote, dark period for our country, saying, quote, this is a continuation of the greatest and longest running witch hunt in American history.
Joining us now, Speaker of the House, Kevin McCarthy. Mr. Speaker, good to see you and welcome to the Bottom Line. Listen, I just want to get your reaction. This is the fourth indictment. It seems like a concerted effort to indict and take down legally President Trump. Your response, your reaction.
It's exactly that, Sean. We watched starting with the DA in New York, now a DA in Georgia, instead of protecting those in Atlanta. She puts out an email last Thursday saying, I have a big announcement from her campaign. They are campaigning off this instead of following what the Constitution says. They are showing the American public that we have two different justice systems. One for your political opponent if you're opposed to the Bidens, then a play for the Bidens, the Justice Department does nothing. This is what's wrong with America today and what frustrates all Americans, whether you're independent, Democrat or not. We believe in equal justice, and this is not what we're seeing.
Mr. Speaker, speaking of unequal justice, it's usually law enforcement that gets a tip, but a new transcript released by House Oversight Committee Chairman James Comer confirms Biden's 2020 transition team was tipped off about plans to interview Hunter Biden, but that interview never happened, proving further the two-tiered justice system that exists in America today. And on that note, just to get your reaction about David Weiss, who's overseeing the Hunter Biden investigation out of Delaware, is now the special counsel, and Merrick Garland, his boss, and he have said all along about that Weiss had total authority over the investigation. He had power to charge the Hunter Biden case outside of Delaware. Then why the need for the special counsel designation? The why now?
Yeah, why now? First of all, Daniel Weiss, if he was in the private sector, after letting the statute of limitation run out, which the IRS complained about never to allow that, to write the allegations go before the courts but be thrown out, even in the plea agreement, if he was in the private sector, he would have been fired, not promoted. We said from the very beginning we needed a special counsel. It just proves the Republicans were right. But it also proves that the DOJ is trying to cover up. This will not hold us back from getting any information we need. We will not allow it. Now, why would the FBI tip off an inaugural committee, a campaign committee? And if we needed to interview Hunter Biden, why wouldn't Hunter Biden, of all innocents they talk about, why wouldn't he just come in for the interview? Why would they try to hide from him? Also, the number two under David Weiss, why did she tip off the Hunter Biden's own attorneys? And his own attorneys did not know he had a storage unit where his papers were kept. Instead of going there and getting those papers and raiding it like they did Mar-a-Lago, they told the attorneys about it ahead of time, something they did not know, where they could clean it out before we even had the opportunity. This is what we're talking about when you say the weaponization of justice. We're watching this DOJ do one thing for the Bidens and different for every other American. Nobody else would get treated. You wouldn't get your statute of limitations to go out. And you know what? If I went, or Sean, you went to dinner with one of your children, they wouldn't get a brand new Porsche and $3.5 million either. And if you had lied to the American public and say you never talked about business and now you find out, yeah, you did, and your family never got any money from China, but yeah, now you did, and tell me one member in Congress or a vice president that they take office and your family opens up 20 shell companies while you're vice president, and your family gets 16 out of 17 payments while you're vice president from Romania. Don't you think that's wrong?
It's a little bit odd, and that I would be offered an immunity deal, or my child would be offered an immunity deal for misdemeanor charges that should have been felonies and no charges on a gun charge. It's a really good point, Mr. Speaker. I'm happy to hear the House is going to continue with their investigation and not be deterred with this special counsel nomination. Before we let you go, I want to get your take on this because Nebraska Congressman, one of your colleagues, Don Bacon, announcing his personal and campaign emails. They were hacked by the Chinese Communist Party. Shocked by this, but Bacon, who serves on the Armed Services Committee, has been an outspoken critic of China and been a supporter of the independent Taiwan movement. What do you make of the Chinese going after one of your members, hacking their email accounts? How serious is this?
This is very serious. And, you know, Don Bacon isn't just a member of Congress. He's a retired Air Force general.
Yes.
So what were they trying to find? Why are they going after? What's even questionable to me, they met Swalwell as he's a city councilman. He becomes a congressman. He still keeps a relationship. He gets put on the Intel committee. Why would Nancy Pelosi keep him on the Intel committee? We've watched that the Chinese had a driver for 10 years for Dianne Feinstein. They continue to try to steal. The latest report from the FBI, China steals on average from $200 to $600 billion a year from Americans on our intellectual property, and that's $4,000 for every family. This is why, when Republicans took the majority, we created a select committee on China, something that Nancy Pelosi denied us to do. But we are looking at this. Gallagher is leading it as the chairman. We've actually worked very well together. When the president of Taiwan came to America, I met with her at the Reagan Library. You want to know why? No greater symbol to the freedom of America defeating communism. And we had a bipartisan meeting there. The Chinese are serious about what they want to do around the world, and we need to be serious ourselves to protect our intellectual property and the future and the critical minerals to make sure America stays safe.
Mr. Speaker, it's a small majority you have in the House. It's been impressive all you have gotten done with your investigations, and we're grateful here on The Bottom Line, and thank you for joining us. Stay safe out there. We appreciate it.
It's always great to see you, too. Congratulations on what you're doing. It's a fabulous show.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
You got to keep coming back more often.
I love to do it.
That charming smile lights up the TV screen.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.